Thousands of women in Saudi Arabia have realized it's weird they're expected to act like adults, yet are still treated as children. So 2,500 bombarded the king's office, calling for a demand of basic freedoms and release from restrictive male guardianship and the system surrounding that, while 14,000 other women signed the petition. What is male guardianship? Currently, women have to seek permission from a father, brother, or other male relative if they want to travel, work, study, marry, or even leave prison. Women also can't drive a car in the country, a law that has been highly protested over the years. One Saudi woman commented, "We are entrusted with raising the next generation, but you can't trust us with ourselves. It doesn't make any sense." So a leading voice in this group is Aziza Al-Yousef, who you may remember is the woman who intentionally broke the law in the country banning women from driving in 2013. She says women should be treated as full citizens. This is not only a women's issue, this is also putting pressure on normal men. This is not an issue for women only. Seems like a little cop-out at the end right there.
Normal men.
Normal men.
What was that person's name? Aziza?
Aziza.
I knew one other Aziza lived in Azusa. That's all I want to say.
That's why she chose to live there. Actually, I think when she mentioned the normal men is where my first thought went. Because if you, as a guy, you put yourself in a position of how this country's run this particular law, I don't want control over people. I've never understood that. I don't want to tell someone what to do and tell them when they have to drive. Oh, you're about to get out of the jail thing? Now you can get out. Oh, you can eat now. Wake up here. That's stressful. I got to deal with myself. I don't want to tell someone else what a grown ass woman
I think that what she
to
was
do.
saying at the end was like, hey, it makes your life a little easier. Wouldn't it be nice stress off your shoulders if we got to act like people too?
Yeah.
Which seems very sad.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they passed a law that men couldn't drive in America anymore, because I am so sick of it. I am so tired of driving across this goddamn city.
It's stressful. It's stressful.
I'm at my wit's end by the time I get here to do a show. I'm so frazzled.
You know what?
I'm like, where's there a repressive religious regime to take some of these fucking rights away?
I disagree with Jimmy. I'm for women's rights.
Well, one of the ideas being floated is that women would need some kind of designated age between 18 and 21, much like most countries have for smoking, age of consent, buying alcohol, voting, joining the military. But at this age is when Saudi women would be treated like adults. So they're still waiting for a response from officials on that.
So how does that work? Here's another thing too, because again, I'm picturing, the only reference point I have is our country, obviously.
Sure.
So say there's how many 2,500 protesters not raided, but bombarded the king's office. Mm-hmm. Does that work here? I don't see why it would work there. I hope it does, but does that then make him go, oh, 2,500 women came and approached the office. Oh, I guess we got to do something now.
Well, this is like a place where you're not expected to see any women question the system. So this might seem like a significant number, even though it's insignificant to us.
The number's pretty big. I just don't know why they would listen to them when they didn't listen to complete logic before.
I mean, they probably won't. Yeah. In all likelihood, it does. It is creating a conversation, though. It may provide some kind of pressure at the very least.
The other question is, what's the alternative? What is the alternative to protesting when you don't have any rights? What do you do in that situation? The alternative seems to be not doing anything, and I don't see that working
violence.
better.
Yes.
Yeah,
the alternative is violence, so this is the better option of the two.
But then you can't run people over with your car because you can't drive it.
Oh.
So that's
I mean, you could mass protest and run over people.
a good point.
Yeah.
But then again, I disagree. I'm for women's rights.
Maybe these normal men it's used. Again, I'm stuck on the normal men line. You always need, whenever an oppressed group needs to make their way out, they need help from the group that is not oppressed, or at least visually. Mm-hmm. So they need help of men.
Yeah.
You always need the crossover audience.
Are there any men in Saudi Arabia that are on board? I doubt it, right? Nobody's going to stand up for women.
I didn't see that in any of the articles I read. Mm-hmm. It would be great because, like JR said, that's probably what they're saying is, we'll be on earlier, like, you can be a little lazier if we get to be people. It's also help us, please be a person and help us be people. So we still get to see if that's working out.
Such a weird country, right? They don't even the ruling power, it isn't given to the son, it's given to brothers. They've been passing off for brothers since the early 20s. You know that? And it's weird, like it goes to the crown prince, and then I don't know. Who cares?
There is that hashtag IAmMyOwnGuardian that everyone can, like, you question, what can I do? Is there anything I can do? The chances of anything that I individually do to change the policy of the government of Saudi Arabia, pretty low.
You could stop selling them arms.
That's the thing.
Yeah, Brett.
Something realistic.
All right,
here,
fine,
Jimmy.
fine. I'm going to cancel my sale
Thank
on
you.
eBay
No,
of
you're
arms.
right, though. I mean, we really can't do much as outsiders from the country, but we can certainly lay on the pressure.
Can we call the guys in Saudi Arabia cucks? That seems to work.
That's the smart response to anything, Jimmy.
Cuck.
What is that?
A cuck?
A cuckold.
Like a cuckold?
You know,
Yeah.
cock is just like a bear male. It's just like a bear male, really. It's like right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta go over to Reddit. Mark Ruffalo's doing an AMA. We're gonna call him a cock. We're all getting together, call him a cock, Mark Ruffalo.
That's like
And that's how
pubescent,
you be
like,
the change that you want to
hairy-
see in the world.
Become a TYT member today.
Can't do it.
No, you really can. You just go to tytnetwork.com/join.